What is going on, everybody? It's Alex. Come back here with another video, and today I'm gonna be making a 4 round mock for y'all. So today is obviously gonna be round one, but I want to make it right after the first slash midday to the second day of free agency because there's a lot of cool things going on, and there's a lot of things that have changed, and we're probably starting to see how teams are going to be looking at their draft philosophies and everything. Even right now, we have a report coming in that the Bears are talking about trading Anthony Miller. So we already know where a lot of these teams are starting to be headed. I have the updater right here, the track thing. So obviously, if we're picking for a team and we get some crazy shit news, we know what to do. But obviously, with a team like the Bengals, team that I would somewhat consider trading back and getting a corner, that would be a team that we don't need to do that anymore. They got Cheeto Awuzie. They have, I'm pretty sure they might have WJ3 still, but they also have Mike Hilton now. God, I hate that so much. But let's start this draft. Let's have some fun. Want to get you guys something. Of course, we got the free agent tracker right here as well, just to see which team got which, right? So obviously Cheeto, and then they also got Mike Hilton there. This was updated about like 6 minutes ago as of the recording of this, so it should be up to date in case we just want to check anything. But with the Jaguars, this is an obvious first pick, right? So this is gonna probably have trades. I'm pretty sure it's gonna have trades. So we're gonna have some fun trades up in here. But again, we're gonna blend my opinion in on this. We could go my board, but I'm pretty sure we're gonna blend those two together. With the Jets on the board, they got a pretty talented potential wide receiver one in Corey Davis for 3 years. To me, that looks like they're either arming up to keep Sam Darnold, or, funnily enough, what happens usually in year three is that a quarterback asks to be extended, which means that they're trying to prepare for Zach Wilson. It's just my genuine opinion that they should go Zach Wilson here unless they're given a boatload of picks because Zach Wilson's the number one quarterback in most drafts, and you're getting him here just because Trevor Lawrence is Trevor Lawrence, right? So I don't know if you really want to see like, oh, well, what if we don't? I mean, I just tweeted about this. You guys can look at the link in the description. It's like, why are we paying meh to okay quarterbacks or even kind of good quarterbacks who, even with a good team, are not going to win you a Super Bowl? At the end of the day, what's the point? Do you just want to be competitive every year and then have your roster get progressively worse? No, you want to build a team that can win a Super Bowl. Zach Wilson is a guy who could potentially win a Super Bowl with the franchise. I don't think Sam Darnold is. Like like these ideas that, oh, he's seeing ghosts. I saw some stupid quote that was like, "Oh, well, what if it wasn't him that was seeing ghosts and it was the weapons?" I'm like, "No. No, no, no. I understand that he can't play well, but you can still elevate the roster around you." They're talking about Deshaun Watson going 4-12, but like the guy looked amazing. Even Dak Prescott was having a 6,000 yard season. It's like, I mean, he had a much better offensive situation, but I mean, these guys are able to perform. If they can't win, that's a different story. But they can't perform. I mean, if they can perform, that's all that matters. Zach Wilson to me is going to be the guy. You freaking had Sam Darnold throw over 200 yards. He had Denzel Mims. He had Jamison Crowder. He had Braxton Berrios. He had Chris Herndon. These guys are not that ass. And his offensive line was not great. But the left side of the line, pretty solid. And then the right side of the line wasn't terrible in the notion that people try to reference it. I think Zach Wilson is somebody who really needs to be this pick, and people need to kind of halt the brakes on it. And with this pick with the Dolphins, you're going to be getting trade calls. You're like, yo, we want to move up. I'm looking right here at the Panthers. You're going to be like, dude, we need to move up and get some Justin Fields here. That's going to possibly take probably 2 firsts and maybe 2 thirds or 2 seconds, right? I think that the Dolphins are like, dude, when are we going to get this draft pick ever again? Like, we're never going to get this draft pick as long as we're competitive. And Tua's our guy right now. And we don't need to sell out for him, but we need to make sure the situation is as good as possible. And in the division where pretty much the offensive lines are starting to become pretty well built up, this is a team that can't afford just allowing their line to be subpar. Tua's a guy who's used to having a good offensive line. He's used to having good weapons, but again, this is a really good wide receiver class. I don't think free agency hasn't changed my mind about these top three picks. I don't care if honestly, if I get offered 2 firsts to move out, I'm not taking it. Penny Sewell here is going to be an excellent option. You kick Austin Jackson, who's already raw and not that great as it is. He has potential, but he's not that great right now. Kick him to right tackle. Robert Hunt back to guard where he should be. And then you can use Solomon Kinley, Eric Flowers, Isaiah Wilson, whatever the hell you want at the other guard spot and fix that center role. I mean, hell, we don't even know where Rodney Hudson, who just got cut, is going to go. We think that it is going to be on Arizona, so I'm probably not going to be drafting a center for Arizona just because of that. But yeah, this is an obvious pick to me. I'm sorry, guys, if you guys don't like it. But looking at a team like the Falcons, I was really thinking about doing a trade down right there just to have the Falcons trade back. But if we're going to be looking at this, I honestly think that we could be seeing a trade back here. It's a potential one because I have a feeling that Trey Lance might be Arthur Smith's guy. It's annoying as hell, but to be realistic, it might be a good option to trade back. I'm looking at the Lions, who have a lot of draft capital and kind of desperately need a wide receiver. Thinking about it, not going to pull the trigger. I got Justin Fields here. Sorry to have a boring first 4 picks here, but I mean, Justin Fields, his potential, like, people still think he could be the number 1 guy in the draft, right? Like, there's still potential of that, and if you get that at 4, that's a really good deal. Your roster is pretty well built, and Justin can sit behind Matt Ryan for 2 years and just develop and grow, and that's going to be great. I love that idea. I think this should be the way that the draft falls. Realistically, I don't think we haven't even seen too many top trades. And again, people are going to get scared. Last time the trades happened, it was for like Carson Wentz and like RG3. There was a lot of busts that people traded up for that actually might get into the back minds of some of these front offices. It's like, dude, are we going to give up our future for a guy we just like? You can bat 60% on quarterbacks in the first round, and you're a great GM, a great owner. Like, this is something where it's like you sometimes just don't want to do it. Next year's class is approximately 20 guys who will probably come out who are draftable and have potential as a backup or a starter. It's ridiculous. Bengals here, I mean, Jamar Chase is on the board. With respect to Jamar, we're going to give him to Joe Burrow. I would take Kyle Pitts, but Joe Burrow is your guy. Sell out for him. This is going to be a boring first 6 picks, guys. I can guarantee you, because Kyle Pitts, the man out of Florida, I do not care what people say about Jalen Waddle, about Devontae Smith, which I'm happy that they put Jalen Waddle up a little bit more. Kyle Pitts is an absolute monster. He's going to be a dynamic threat. Apparently can run the 4.4s, which is ridiculous. He's everything that this team needs. And again, you brought on the Florida OC as your quarterbacks coach. It seems a little bit like you're trying to train him up to be the leader of your offense and maximize the value of Kyle Pitts. Next, with the Lions, you're sitting here and it's like, dude, you got so many needs. You can go Waddle here, you can go Smith. This is a good trade back spot. I'm not gonna lie. The more I think about it, the more I really like this idea of a trade back. And I want to keep it new, want to keep it fresh for you guys. There are teams that are going to be looking for Trey Lance, for Jalen Waddle, for these cornerbacks as well. We could be seeing even the Broncos trying to move up for a corner. The Broncos did just sign Bradley Roby, however. Not saying that that's going to take him out of the cornerback market, for Christ's sakes. I don't think so. But if I'm going to be honest, we could even see a micro jump here from the Panthers trying to get Trey Lance. Is it going to happen? Is it? So let's think about what could happen here. With the Lions, I think that our targets right now are Micah Parsons. We could go Trey Lance as well, just to sit, but I don't want him to be on this team, for Christ's sakes. We could go Waddle. We definitely need a wide receiver, and getting Tyrell Williams is a good start, but that leaves a perfect hole for Jalen Waddle to come in. I do not want to go past 11. I'm looking right here at 8 and 9, seeing a small micro jump. Now the Broncos have not really done too much in free agency besides Bradley Roby. If we want to check out what they did here, we could definitely do that. Denver Broncos, so they got Von Miller, they released Kareem Jackson. Oh, very interesting. But they got Justin Simmons back. They're doing all right. Okay. They're doing all right. They're still in need of a corner there, but still, I think that their first need is probably going to be either corner, linebacker, quarterback still. So if we're going to be looking at that, it's tough. It's tough. Do we see the Panthers just say, screw it, we're going to move up one spot? What's the damage? We're moving up one spot, we get our guy. I honestly think that's going to be the case. I don't like the idea of the Panthers, but this has to be realistic here, okay? I'm going to be realistic. I'm not a guy on Trey Lance. I have him in my 20s right now, and that's pretty high for me, and that was just after his pro day too. So we're gonna see if we could toss in maybe a 3rd-round pick. I mean, what, you're moving up? We're not gonna do that. That's unrealistic. We're gonna ask for like a next year 6th in return. Is potentially an extra gadget player. We're gonna try to move up here though to select Trey Lance for the Carolina Panthers, and I think this is now a good deal. When we saw him throw the ball, it's like he had a couple pretty horrible misses, and you have Teddy Bridgewater as a bridge quarterback. Again, you could go in the next year's class and get another guy, but I think Trey Lance does offer you some upside, and especially if you give up what, a 3rd-round pick. Come on, guys. You're getting a 3rd-round pick. I mean, the Lions, you guys need as much as you can. A 3rd-round pick's great for you. Plus, you move back one spot. That's great. We're getting Jalen Waddle at this spot. It's a quick little pick swap, and it would have happened anyways. But the Broncos could have been moving up for Trey Lance. That's all I'm gonna say there. With Caleb Farley on the board, this is no discussion. I think Jalen Waddle or Rashawn Slater would be a good option there, given the fact that, to be honest, the Lions did just release one of their backup / I mean, he started 17 games. Offensive lineman. He could be definitely a target for them. With the Cowboys on the board, I mean, this is a good trade back spot in my eyes now. The more I think about it, I think we should probably trade back a little bit. The Cowboys did just lose Cheeto as well. The Cowboys really haven't been striking too hard in free agency. If we want to look at what they did, of course, I can go Command F and just go Cowboys. But if we want to see who they re-signed, there you go. They got CJ Goodwin. Woohoo! Like, yeah. They didn't sign Jack, and they did actually they brought back one dude. Okay, so it hurts. It hurts definitely quite a bit. So I'm still looking at a guy like Patrick Surtain, who's a beast. Looking at where is he? J.C. Horn down here, who's a beast. I think this is a good spot to trade back because there are teams that might be wanting a guy like Rashawn Slater, a guy who wants Devontae Smith, Micah Parsons as well, Mac Jones. There are teams that probably want these guys. And, I'm looking at teams right now that could use a guy like Mac Jones. I don't see any within the grabbable range. I'm going to be honest, I do not see it. And we could see the Cardinals trying to make a big move up here to get Patrick Surtain, which, I mean, wouldn't be a bad move whatsoever. But I'm not very comfortable with that. Again, Micah Parsons is on the board. I still might revert back to a pick right here. Honestly, we might be just pulling one right here with JC Horn. It's a tough one. It's a real tough one, guys. But I'm feeling the pressure. If you guys can't tell, this is all live. I don't like doing a bunch of random crap for you guys that's all like pre-scripted and this and that. It's not fun. It's really not fun for anybody. And like, it puts pressure on me to get the right pick. I know I could pick a corner here and I'll be great, right? It'll just be wonderful. We could see the Niners moving up and picking Rashawn Slater here, though. I wouldn't mind that. I wouldn't mind that at all, actually. And to be fair, the Niners kind of need it. The Niners could be taking Surtain, though. They could be. I think we're hearing calls from the Cowboys. They're saying, dude, the Cardinals are trying to jump up right here. We're hearing calls from the Cardinals trying to get up. But also the Niners, I think the Niners could be hit pretty heavily with cap casualties. I think their picks are going to be more valuable. We're seeing the Niners trade up with the Cowboys for a small jump to be able to select one of their guys, which, again, we're about to pick one of those guys. We're going to see. We can't even do – that's very interesting. So this pick jump is much, much harder for us to do. So we're going to be doing that. We're going to do it next year too. Cowboys are being a dick because they're like, dude, we're getting offers right now from the Cardinals. So we'd probably get a 1 and a 2 this year just to move up. And we'd probably have to swap back like a 4th or something. But now with the Niners on the board, it's like we got our 2 top guys on the board. And again, corner is not going to be heavily valued in this scheme. According to actually A, your head scout, but B, Marcus Whitman. I think we're going Rashawn Slater here. We're trading up to get a very, very talented player who can play left tackle. Again, that left tackle spot, huge void for you guys. Huge void. If we want to look at what the Niners have done in free agency, we could, of course, I don't know if Command F doing all that. 49ers? Like, what have you guys done? Juszczyk, Emmanuel Mosley, and Verrett. So you're fine at cornerback for the short term. I think that being able to get a guy like Rashawn Slater is huge. You do have a vacancy at left tackle, right guard, and center with Richburg eventually in the future. Rashawn Slater, it's too good a value to pass up at this point. With the Giants on the board, again, you guys just brought in some speed with John Ross. So we could be seeing this move made as well. You guys did just sign Leonard Williams to a massive ass contract. So at this spot, I can see a trade back, but we're going to be going Devontae Smith. We can't let him continue falling here. It's a little too much. Definitely getting a dynamic weapon there. Now you have John Ross to push the deep, and then Devontae. I mean, John Ross ain't going to be really there. He's going to be depth, who has a lot of upside. Leaving the not the Chargers. Why I saw the Chargers right here. Leaving the Cowboys to basically be like, wow, we got J.C. Horn or Surtain. Again, in this division where you got guys like Quez Watkins and stuff that do run pretty fast, I am a little bit worried about getting torched without safety help. I'm going to be going J.C. Horn here. For you guys who think Patrick Surtain's worth it, it's all up to that. I think it was like the 31st or something like that for the Alabama Pro Day. That's going to be huge for Surtain. If he gets done, if he runs in like the 4.4s even, he's going to be the first guy off the board, hands down. Otherwise, he might be the third because J.C. Horn just ran a 4.4 flat or a 4.41. Chargers, I mean, you guys have been hitting it in free agency. You guys got your guard fix. I think did you get BJ Finney? You got one of these the Steelers offensive linemen, along with the best center in football, arguably not Rodney Hudson, in Corey Linsley. So I think that this is a pretty obvious pick for me as well. You got to go the tackle spot now. Like you got that left tackle spot vacant. You guys are pretty much maybe one more guard spot away from being a fully built offensive line, which I don't understand why you got rid of Trey Turner. You guys could let me know on that, but. To me, you can't trade out of that spot. That's a great value for a guy like Christian Darrisaw, who is an absolute beast. I would put him. He feels a little bit Tristan Wirfs to me. Tristan Wirfs to me. With the Vikings on the board, dude, there's rumors right now talking about how they potentially are going to be losing to Danielle Hunter. Right. To me, I have Kwity Paye in the top 15 in this class. I think he's worth it. Kwity Paye out of Michigan. Screw it. Insane athleticism. I love his athleticism. For his size, he's possibly one of the best athletes I've ever seen. He is strong. He is fast. Well, maybe not in a straight line, but he is quick. He is very, very agile and fluid. I think people are starting to sleep on Kwity, and he actually might go higher than this. Just saying. I'm a big fan of Kwity. With the Patriots, we could be going Mac Jones here, but it's pretty obvious that you guys are A, trying to win right now, but B, Cam Newton, you want this offensive scheme. You like the idea of bringing back Cam, and you're like, oh, well, I mean, we want more of a mobile quarterback. Honestly, next year's class, you have a lot of guys who can be a mobile quarterback. You don't need Mac Jones here. This could be a good spot for a trade back, if we're going to be honest. You guys did get quite a few wide receivers who I think you definitely overpaid for. This is an interesting spot. If I'm going to be honest, a sneaky pick at this spot that people don't see, Landon Dickerson. Landon Dickerson could definitely be the spot. But with guys like Surtain on the board, I think that there are going to be teams trying to just jump to get this spot. And I think the Cardinals are going to be like, Patriots, please, I'm begging you, give us that. And they're going to make a micro jump. We're doing little micro trades right here just because, again, it's too good a value. The Cards are going to be offering a next year. We'll offer a next year 4 to move up one spot because, again, the pick value is definitely dropped here. And the Cardinals, of course, are going to be getting Surtain. That's insane. That's an insane deal right there. I was thinking about trading up actually right here with the Vikings for the Cards, but just didn't work out that way. I mean, Mac Jones is falling. We could take him here, but I'm not going to. I think, honestly, if you really, it hurts. Let's look at the plethora of freaking weapons like that the freaking Patriots got. I'm quite surprised. I misspelled Patriots. There we go. So, we're going to move my camera down here so we can look at it. I'm trying to find the damn Patriots on this, but the Patriots have just gone balls to the freaking wall. There we go. Here we go. We got Aguilar, Bourne, Henry. I mean, I don't think we need another offensive weapon at this point. Realistically, we could just go an interior. We could just go a linebacker at this spot. I think that's what we are going to do. So we're going to move our camera back. I think we're going to go Micah Parsons here. This is exactly a Belichickian move. You move back and still get a very talented player, and you get an next year 4th. along with a plethora of picks that you are going to be getting as compensatory. I'm a huge fan of it. So next at this next spot, oh my God, what did the Raiders do? I don't get it. Why? I just don't get it. What they're doing, what they think. Releasing Rodney Hudson, they lost $8 million, I believe, or they lost $2 million. It's weird. They lost not Marcus Cannon. They lost Trenton Brown, they lost Richie Incognito, and they lost Rodney Hudson. Ouch. That really hurts. But their defense is still a huge need, man. Like, oh man, I think honestly we got to go Cosme here. This is just you have to. Cosme still, I mean, that's a bargain for him to be on the board at this point. I was thinking maybe we could go with a Mayfield, but dude, you're gonna need to get something there down in Vegas. I mean, it's rough. It is rough right now, and you need to make sure Derek Carr at least knows there's a little bit of love for him there. With the Dolphins on the board, I went Kwity Paye last time. Fun fact. That's not going to happen anymore. All right, we're going to be going Rashad Bateman here. We're going to just say screw it. We're going to be going with a super weapon. I'm a big fan of Rashad Bateman. You do need an actual dynamic threat on this squad. And the Dolphins really haven't done too much in free agency. Again, if you guys want to see it, we can, of course, do Dolphins and just check them out. So they got, yeah, exactly. So they did fix their linebacker problem, so we don't really need to go after that. And that leaves Rashad Bateman open, right? Next, we got Washington, and I still understand why they need a tackle. It's ridiculous. Their number one need is a corner. That was a big one. I was thinking about trying to trade up with Washington, but of course couldn't trade up with the Cowboys, and then didn't really want to trade that far back, given the fact that I thought that maybe we could go pass rusher here for the Dolphins. Corner is definitely a need, and I'm not going to lie, guys. You guys like to run zone. This is going to be a sneaky pick that you guys are not going to like. You still need a weapon. 100% true. Don't like any of these guys left on the board at this spot. I honestly might trade back here, but I do see cornerback needy teams that some of them run zone. This is going to be a weird pick for you guys. I'm going Eric Stokes. Ran 4.24/4.26 at his pro day. It's just when you see a guy run that fast, he's going to jump up draft boards. And he had 4 interceptions, 0 touchdowns, I believe sub 30 passer rating when targeted as a boundary corner. You need this. You need this desperately. And it's your number one need. Mac Jones is on the board. This is your number one need. You got Mac Jones is on the board, but you do have Fitzmagic. Get Eric Stokes. Please just get Eric Stokes. It's an amazing pick when it's just something people don't see coming. And again, just that raw speed. He fits the zone scheme. Big fan of that fit. With the Bears, I mean, there you go. Mac Jones on the board. Cheers. I know that we could get a tackle here, but I can't see Mac falling past this point, even though I don't like him that much. With the Colts on the board, again, I would have loved to have gotten a guy like Cosme here, but we have to go tackle. And I'm looking at Eichenberg here. And, I mean, I'm looking at the Steelers. They're going to want a guy who's a seasoned veteran. We might go Jenkins for the Steelers then, or Mayfield. Mayfield's going to be young. I want a guy who's seasoned. Oof. Are there any teams that could take a tackle? Yeah, there's quite a few teams. We got 1 or 2 teams right here that could take a tackle. Even though I think they would probably be these 2 or 4 guys. I mean, out of these 4 guys, these guys are all probably going to be taken by the mid-second round. This could be a good spot to trade back, though. There is the Browns on the board who definitely want to go and get their guy. And that guy is JOK. You know, they could definitely use a linebacker up in here. Let's see who the Browns got in free agency. I love doing this. Now I get to actually see. We don't want to see those Browns things, homie. Come on. There we go. So they signed John Johnson and Tack McKinley. So defensive end right now is not a huge issue. I think that's perfect. They want to make sure that their linebacking core is pretty solid. We're going to be doing a trade up with the Colts. We're going to be offering pretty good deal here. We're going to be offering this third round pick and trying to get a 6th in return. I think that's 100% fair to jump that far up. And again, we're going to be getting Eichenberg at that spot because, again, I think the Steelers are going to be wanting to go after the hype, and Eichenberg fits this scheme so much better than the rest of the teams. Edge is no longer in need, of course. Deals are being done today. TDN isn't really updated. JOK, to me, is just a perfect fit. And the Browns are going to be a little bit aggressive, you know? They're going to be definitely aggressive there. So I think that you got to make sure that your defense is good in this division, and they're going to make sure with JOK, who can also play safety. It's a mix right there with John Johnson and everything. JOK can also play slot for you. He is everything that you really need. Again, you don't need the safety role anymore, but you have slot and linebacker both open. That's perfect fit. Perfect fit for JOK. Next with the Titans, I mean, you guys just signed an $82.5 million deal with Bud Dupree. So you guys need a wide receiver really badly. Really badly. More than edge, more than anything else. Interior defensive lineman, you got Denico Autry as well. So it's either cornerback or edge, and Greg Newsome's on the board. It's Greg Newsome, or else we're going to be going a guy like Kadarius Toney or something. It's tough. It's a tough one. I like how the draft completely changed, though. Also, tight end wise, I'm looking at Brevin Jordan here, but we're going to follow the predictive board in the idea that, I mean, I have Brevin Jordan as a great pick to the Titans. We are going to be going Greg Newsome here. Sorry to all the Cheesehead fans. Your corner core is just it's beaten up, and we're going to look at who the Titans were able to get. So yeah, they signed Denico Autry, Bud Dupree, Kendall Lamb. They still have a huge hole right there in that secondary right there. Vaccaro, Butler gone. You need some help. Greg Newsome ran sub 4.4 and he's just been balling out, guys. Balling out. I think we're going to see a run on corners, especially in the pass heavy league. It's something that I believe is going to happen. Jets, they would have went for a corner there, but no longer an option. They just signed Carl Lawson, which is a great pickup. They also signed Corey Davis, which is another great pickup. So honestly, I see a good trade back spot here. We're gonna move my camera back up to where it should be. I see a pretty good trade back spot. This is a good spot to trade back. So the guys who are on the board, you got the running back still, not my guys. Merrick, don't think that people are going to be really wanting to take him in the first. I would be seeing maybe if an early second, I would try to trade up if I were the Cowboys, but besides that, not really. You know, we could just, let's see, the Gregory Rousseau's on the board. So for a team that could need, I mean, this could use another edge. This team could definitely use another edge. But I'm looking at the 4-3 teams through here. I don't really see too many teams that could really want to use a Gregory Rousseau that don't want to get a tackle. Whew, it's tough. It's a tough one because you guys have done a lot in free agency. But I'm pretty sure you guys might be losing. What's his name? CJ Mosley. So I think that it might be a really good idea in order to rock with another linebacker here. Oh, man, it's tough. It's tough. I want to see, the Ravens did get Zeitler. That's what I was thinking of. So that's a pretty big move. They've filled their offensive line hole right there. And looking at other teams, the Packers could want to trade up if they wanted to get a guy similar to like a Zeben Collins and Nick Bolton. You could look at the Bills as well. The Bills definitely could be using a cornerback, but again, we kind of made a run on cornerbacks here. You know what? Screw it. Honestly, I think that going edge here would be a really good option. Let's go Gregory Rousseau. You know, it's a Robert Saleh defense. Rousseau is raw. He's going to be a really, really big impact. Well, this just came out. The Titans just released a Dory Jackson too. So, you know what? The Greg Newsome pick, even better. Even better. Of course, this is being made at around 3:10 p.m. on March 16th. So, you know, I'm going to try to get this video up to you guys today. The Steelers, though, are on the board. They did just release, actually right now as well, Vince Williams, but we're not going linebacker here, guys. The obvious need is going to be at tackle, most likely. I could go linebacker here just because, again, we got Devin Bush and then pretty much nobody else. I think that out of respect for Ben, we're going to be going and getting a guy he's too slow, in my opinion. Wait, where did he go? He's too slow. He should be a guard. But, I mean, he's perfectly fine protecting a slow quarterback like Ben. I'm going to go Tevin Jenkins here out of Oklahoma State. Big fan of him with Big Ben. You know, he's the most powerful blocker besides Quentin Nelson that I've ever seen. So, getting him for the Steelers is kind of nice. Now, with the Jaguars sitting on the board, they're just like, ooh, do we get Radunes? Do we get Eichenberg? Do we get Mayfield? This team's young. This team, it's fine. You're going to be perfectly fine if you get a young prospect. I think the best route to go is to get the guy with the highest upside. We're going to see a run on tackles here. You got Jalen Mayfield. And then, I mean, yeah, again, Trevor Lawrence needs a guy. Jalen Mayfield has a shit ton of potential, and he's athletic. He can fit any role that you want. You're freaking franchise tagging Cam Robinson, for Christ's sakes. Come on, guys. So leaving the Colts to go Eichenberg or Radunes. I know a lot of people like Radunes. I'm a fan of Radunes, but I'm in love with Eichenberg. I think that he's going to be the best option out of these three tackles as well. I have him above all three, or the number one spot out of these three. And I'm just absolutely in love with him. He's perfect for day one. Again, Pittsburgh could be wanting to just get somebody who wants to develop the run even better than Eichenberg could. Just Tevin Jenkins is a beast. He's scary, but Eichenberg is more complete. I think you need to make sure Carson Wentz has his dude there. With the Ravens on the board, I mean, don't need to look at the line anymore. That was like my sneaky pick. I'm like, oh, look at this, guys. You got a lineman. You did just lose Judon as well. I'm looking at Azeez Ojulari at this spot. It hurts because I know you guys do get those get good edges in the second round. That's the thing. You guys get some really good edges in the second, third, fourth round. That's the Ravens' philosophy, right? You guys do get wide receivers in the first, though. That's something that's a key thing. So I want to look at the Ravens and just see what you guys have done. You got Tyus Bowser here. You got Pernell McPhee here. So you guys have something. Ooh, you guys did release John Brown. We're gonna be going a wide receiver for you guys, and it's not gonna be Kadarius Toney. It's not gonna be Elijah Moore or any of these guys. It is going to be Terrace Marshall, somebody who I think in a vertical scheme, this is one of his best spots. Unless he's probably gonna have to block, it's gonna be the problem. But I don't think that the Ravens are gonna think too much about that. The wide receivers can't block for shit, anyways. So that's a big issue. Saints are talking with Richard Sherman. If they don't get him, it shows that they really need an edge rusher. Then again, they could use some extra edge depth because they lost Trey Hendrickson. I don't think they might need to go after Trevon Merrick here, but they also just released Quan Alexander. So that really hurts. So it's Nick Bolton or Zeben Collins. I mean, Nick Bolton's going to be faster. Zeben Collins is going to be more aggressive. I think in a division with speedier and more agile rushers, I'm just pretty much referencing Christian McCaffrey at this point. I think you need to get the speed. Zayvon Collins is amazing, but I don't think he's going to be able. I think he's going to be eaten up by a guy like Christian McCaffrey. Nick Bolton could actually have enough speed to get there. Not really great coverage skills. I'll give him that, but he has the speed to get it done if he's able to develop that. Linebacker, I think, has become the number one need for the Saints. Again, we could check out. You guys can look at the Saints and then let me know what you think. So obviously they released Quan Alexander. That really hurts. And they haven't even signed anybody. So again, really hurts. Packers are sitting here and we're thinking like, shoot, we could go Zayvon Collins here. They haven't done jack shit in free agency though. We could go Vera Tucker here and put him at center. I mean, that's a gaping hole now. Did not expect them to let Corey Linsley go. They want to run the ball. Oof. It's a tough one. Gotta go Zayvon though. You gotta help the run defense out a little bit. Again, Aaron Rodgers can't do everything on his own anymore. You gotta make sure that Zayvon's that guy. The Bills are on the board, and there's not really too much. I mean, they're a sneaky first round running back team with like a Najee Harris or else a Javonte Williams, but I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna pull that trigger. There still are guys like Creed Humphrey's disgusting. There's definitely some good targets down the line. I think this is a good spot for a trade back. If we want to, we could get a guy like Jalen Phillips here. I think he's going to fall in the real draft. I really do. I'm a big fan of letting him fall. So I think that with guys like Najee Harris, Travis Etienne here, there will be teams trying to trade up and get into the fray. But we are not trading with a team that can actually compete right now. All right? We're not going to do that. We're going to be looking more towards a team that probably needs to rebuild. And one of those teams probably is the Jets. And the Jets could definitely use some lightning to the Thunder. And Travis Etienne's on the board. So I'm definitely looking at that option. Other players that could be traded up for, Merrick in the first. Honestly, that could be a move that is made by the Falcons. Merrick in the first. I'm even looking at a guy like Kadarius Toney is still on the board. There's teams that could use a gadget weapon. Big fan of it. But I am going to be trading with a team that has already, they're pretty good on draft capital. It's the Jets. I'm letting the Jets trade up because I think the Bucks are looking pretty hungry right there. We're letting the Jets trade up above the Buccaneers in order to oh my god, they're in the same fucking division. Look at me, guys. I was so excited about this trade, by the way. So void that trade. That's embarrassing. I just totally forgot they were in the same damn division, right? So other teams that could be possibly moving up here, we might as well just possibly go running back here. We might just go fucking Javonte Williams and shock the world. Honestly, out of embarrassment, along with, I mean, we do need a second corner too, but we can't get that at the spot. We're going Javonte Williams. Shocking the world. First running back off the board. You look at his age, and he's young. He's used to an RBBC. You are going to already have his Michael Carters there with Singletary as well as Moss. He's going to be perfect for this scheme. You're re-signing all your linemen. You're built to win. Get Javonte Williams in there. People don't. As I said, they're a sneaker first round pick right there for that spot. With the Chiefs on the board, there's zero doubt in my mind this is the pick. Radune's on the board. You have to go left tackle here. You lost both your tackles. Don't have a center. You just paid a guard $80 million when you have two guards. You need help. So Radune's has to be the pick. I would love to trade out, but not the case. Apparently, Ndamukong Suh is in trade talks. And not trade talks. It's in contract talks with the Buccaneers. What the hell, man? I don't know how they can do it, but they do it. Running back's gonna be the thing. Etienne's gonna be my guy here. I think because they just brought back Shaq Barrett. So getting Etienne is 100% going to be the move. Adding a new weapon, adding a fun toy. That is going to be the first round, guys. Check back tomorrow for round 2. This is a fun-ass video, so I will see you guys on the far side. Peace.